Happy Friday the 13th. I saw a mug with Jason on it at one time, and I thought, I should get that mug. I could use it whenever it's Friday the 13th. And my wife sort of gave me that look like she didn't want a Jason mug on one of my bookshelves. So I'm just using the gold or copper mug this morning. Hope everybody's having a great day. Yesterday was the fourth and final chemo treatment of the real nasty stuff. It's red, like red devil they call it. And she actually had two different chemo drugs these first four sessions, and they cause more nausea and such. In 2 weeks she'll start a different chemo drug and do that for 12 sessions, 12 weeks. And it's not supposed to make you as nauseous, and it can have some other side effects that they have to monitor and watch. I mean, all chemo is pretty nasty stuff, but yesterday was the fourth and final of what's supposed to be the worst of the chemo drugs that she has to do. So now going forward, hopefully won't be as nauseous. The fatigue is still there, and the problem with the fatigue is it's cumulative as well. So I mean, the chemo really takes it down, but it's cumulative. So as it goes through the weeks and weeks, you're just so tired and it hits you up and down. But hopefully after we get through this next week of her being real nauseous and having troubles there, that part maybe won't be as bad for the rest of the weeks that we have to go. Wanted to share a quote with you today. My doctrine is this, that if we see cruelty or wrong, that we have the power to stop and do nothing, we make ourselves sharers in the guilt. Alain, Sewell. And I like that quote. If we see cruelty or wrong that we have the power to stop and do nothing, we make ourselves sharers in the guilt. I mean, if we see something that's bad and we don't stop it, are we just as guilty? She says so, and I think so too. Now, I'm not suggesting we intervene in things where we could physically get hurt, and we don't have the power to do that. But if we have the power to stop it, shouldn't we? And I think we should. I think that's our duty as citizens and people and for humanity, is to try to do what we can to stop cruelty and wrong. And so when we have that power, we need to use it. Greater power you have, as Spider-Man's uncle told him, more greater responsibility we would have as well. I would be able to stop certain violent situations where my wife couldn't, especially in her condition right now. So we both could see the same thing, but have different powers to do something. And so I'm not going to say, wow, you were terrible and you share the guilt to someone that didn't have that power, and neither is, Alain Sewell. I mean, so we have to differentiate that. But we can do what we can do. Make sense? Hope so. Give you a little bit something to think about on this Friday the 13th, rather than thinking about Jason hiding somewhere coming after you. And we're getting towards Halloween. We're starting to see Michael show up in different places too. I want to say good morning to Jay. Good morning to Vicky. Appreciate you guys being here. I read that quote and I just thought, that was a good little lesson. Something for us to think about. When we see cruelty or wrong and we have the power to stop it, we should. Because if we don't, we share in the guilt. And, there's stuff with different biases that we have. And, there's studies shown where, a traumatic thing can happen. The biggest was way back, I forget her name off the top of my head. I wrote about it in some articles and books in New York where the people watched the rape and the beating of the woman and nobody called 911. We wait for somebody else to do something. And that's natural, especially under stress. Under stress, we look for what others are doing before we react. Well, we need to get past that, and we need to make sure that we act and that we do something, especially if there's a cruelty or wrong that we have the power to stop. So just think about that a little bit. And as we're going forward in this life, what can we do to stop cruelty and wrongs that are going on? That is part of being exceptional. That is part of enjoying life safely and allowing others to enjoy life safely as well, because we're stopping cruelties and wrongs. And that's just part of being a good human and a good person. Dixon's scared, must be scared of Jason or Michael. Or maybe Jason and Michael will team up and come after you, Dixon. They know you study martial arts, so they're going to come at you together. Maybe they'll call Freddie to be with them too. Wouldn't that be something? Have Michael, Jason, and Freddie all show up one night. You'd have your hands full. Everybody, make it a fantastic Friday the 13th. Enjoy the day. I will see you tomorrow.